All right, let's look at the definition of congruence. Right, when we say two segments are congruent, if. All right, so congruent segment just means that their length, so length AB and length XY are equal to each other. Right, so congruent segment means segments of the same length. Right, when we say congruent triangle, so that would be their measures are the same. So measure of the angle A is equal to measure of angle X. Right? Right, so when we say two triangles are congruent, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. Right, make sure that the corresponding vertices are written in the same order. So you have here A corresponds to X, B corresponds to Y, and C corresponds to Z. Right, so in order to establish the congruence between two triangles, we have to make sure 6 things. Right, so first, all three sides are congruent, corresponding sides. So AB, segment AB is congruent to segment XY. And the segment BC is congruent to segment YZ. Right, segment AC is congruent to segment XZ. Right, and also we have to check all the corresponding angles. So angle A is congruent to angle X, and angle B is congruent to angle Y, and angle C is congruent to angle Z. Right? If that's the case, we can say two triangles are congruent. Right? And here's the remark for congruence. And note that congruence is an equivalence relation. Which means that it's going to have 3 properties. Right? First one, it has to be reflexive. Reflexive. Right? I can't spell reflexive. Right? Which means that when you say, for example, segment AB must be always congruent to itself. So AB. Right? And the second property is symmetry. It has to be symmetric. Right? Which means that if, say, angle A is congruent to angle X, then this should always imply angle X is congruent to angle A. Right? And the third property is transitive. So transitive property, so which means that say triangle, say ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ, and also if triangle XYZ is congruent to, say, triangle UVW or something like that, then this should always imply triangle ABC is always congruent to triangle UVW. Right? So these are the congruents. So congruent segments are just means that they're the same length, and the angles are congruent when they have the same measure, and the triangles are congruent when you satisfy all corresponding sides are congruent, all corresponding angles are congruent. Right? That's it. I hope that this was clear.